Hey y'all, it's time for another Empties video. And I'm realizing as I sit down to do this that it's been kind of a long time since I filmed an Empties video. I think maybe part of me has been avoiding it even though I knew I had enough empties, because my memory of Empties videos is that they're these long, exhausting trials of videos. And I think that that's just because I started my channel with a no-buy year. And when you stop buying beauty products after you've been buying them for a long time, like buying them excessively, then you start like finishing up so many things and creating a lot of empties. That was what happened to me for the first half of my no-buy year. So it burned it in my brain that an empties video is like a true slog, even though that's not really true anymore. I mean, I have a number of empties here. Like I have a good number of empties, especially because I have been putting it off. But I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my bag of empties, and I'm realizing that we can just sit back, go through one by one. I can tell you what my experience was with each one of these products. I feel like we've got a lot of warm light going on right now. The sun's coming in, it's early afternoon. Let's just be together. I'm determined to have a relaxed, enjoyable, chill Empties video experience. If this is your first time to my channel, then welcome. I'm really glad you're here. I'm Hannah. I love beautiful things. I really like paying attention to what's going on in the beauty world. I review makeup sometimes, but I also am serious about using what I have, using up my products, and keeping myself from buying too much new stuff by constantly remembering that what I have is great. And if that sounds good to you, I hope you'll subscribe. Now let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. In keeping with my desire for this to be a chill video, I am just going to reach into the bag and pull out whatever emerges and just go in that order. And whenever I do this, it reminds me of A Child's Christmas in Wales. In goes my hand into the wool white bell-tongued ball of holidays, and out comes Mrs. Prospero and the fireman. But it's actually this Hair Story original new wash rather than being Mrs. Prospero and the Fireman. A Child's Christmas in Wales is a long poem by Dylan Thomas. I will link it down below so you can click through and read it if you've never read it before. Let's talk about new wash. Hair Story. So let's not talk about new wash. I'm gonna put another link down below underneath the link to A Child's Christmas in Wales. I'm gonna link you to the video, my recent video about hair, my new hair care routine, my haircut, everything, because I talked extensively about new wash in that video, reviewed it in that video. Everything you need to know about what it's like is in that video, and it doesn't really make sense for me to repeat it here because I'd rather you click through and get like the thorough story about new wash in that video. But what I will say that's relevant to an empties is that I go through it. I don't think I go through it super quickly. I do go through it more quickly than I would go through like a traditional shampoo that creates a lot of foam, because I do have to use a lot of new wash at one time in order to wash my hair, because it's like a conditioner consistency. It doesn't foam, it doesn't multiply itself when you put it in your hair. So I find that I'm able to get like 6 to 8 weeks of hair washing from one thing of new wash. I wash my hair every 7 to 10 days. And so, you know, I think I repurchased it like 2 months or maybe 2.5 or closer to 3 months after I bought this one when I got my haircut the first time. So it's a bit expensive. I feel like in my past, because I wash my hair relatively infrequently and I only use shampoo, in the past, shampoo has been an area of my spending in which I've been able to kind of like save a lot of money, because I'd get one bottle of shampoo and I just use a little bit of it and foam it up and lather it in once every 7 to 10 days. And it would last for months and months and months. And so it ended up being like a really low cost per month, cost per use, cost per year, or however you want to think of it. With new wash, my cost per year has probably gone up a bit, but to me, it's completely worth it because the benefits to my hair have been dramatic. I much, much prefer this product. And again, you know, I'm not out here also buying like a conditioner and a mask, a hair mask, and I don't have very many styling products and I don't use heat tools. And so in general, I don't spend too much money on my hair. So I feel really good about having switched over to new wash. And I'm currently on my second pouch of it. This was the first one and I'm partway through using the second one. Oh, there are a number of Curology things in here. And I actually feel like Curology stuff, I should also just link you to the videos that I've made about Curology. I'm actually gonna dig them all out now. Okay, this is kind of showing me how long it's been since I've filmed an empties video, or maybe it's just showing me like how much Curology formula I've gone through, although I already knew that because I recently filmed a video like recapping my first 5 or 6 months of Curology and telling you how it's gone. In short, I don't recommend any of their adjacent products. You know what I mean? Like the custom formula has been fantastic for me. I mean, it has been fantastic. It's genuinely saved my skin this year from a really bad bout of acne. I'm so grateful that my skin is clear now, and this is what I've been doing to clear it up, and it is really, really worth it for me. That's the gist. But if you're interested in Curology, you should click through and watch my videos because it's like this blow by blow, following me through the journey of trying them out for the first time, using them for a while, and then like circling back and talking about the entire experience in retrospect. And one of the things that I said is that this is the cleanser, the full size of the cleanser. I also tried the moisturizer, and I think I have the full size. It should be around here. I was right. I used this up ages ago and I just forgot to put the empty container in my empties. So I've got the moisturizer and the cleanser. These are the full sizes, and I tried them. I wanted to give them a good faith effort. They're just not worth it to me. The only thing that's worth it to me from Curology is the custom formula. It is very, very worth it to me. So this I put in here because when I finished the box, I just wanted to remember to bring it up again on YouTube. I've talked about this before in my empties. It's by this company called IsoThrive, and it's a prebiotic nectar. So the tagline is micro food for your microbiome. It's basically a supplement that helps with gut health. And gut health is something that I take really seriously. I've battled with it. I've found that various supplements and prebiotics and probiotics and strategies of eating certain things and not others, all of that stuff that helps with gut health, that rehabilitates the gut biome, has helped me a lot. Like my foray into that realm of health has been life-changing for me. And this is one of the things that I've tried that has really been amazing. I do notice a difference when I'm taking it. So I've actually gone through several boxes and haven't put them in my empties. And this time I was just like, Hannah, remember to talk about this on YouTube. They know, the people who run IsoThrive, they know that I like the product. They sent me some sort of coupon code. I think it's just for a couple dollars off of your order, but I'll leave that down below. I just feel like this is the kind of thing that I always wish people would tell me about because it's something that really makes a difference for me with bloating and digestion and being able to eat things that tend to be difficult to digest, that kind of thing. So I'm really grateful that my friend Alyssa told me about this some months ago. I mean, maybe even like 6 or 7 months ago at this point. I'm so glad that she told me about it, and I just want to pass along the favor. This is the big 1 liter size bottle of Bioderma body wash, and it comes in a couple of different consistencies. They make an oil wash, they make a gel, and they make this cream one. The oil one is my favorite. I really love it. And I feel like this is really good value for money. It's great for sensitive skin. It's really good for dry skin, all 3 of them. But the oil one is my favorite. I just like variety. So when we ran out of the oil one, I got this one because I was like, I want to try something different. It also has a nice light floral scent, not too aggressive, but it's also not totally unscented. I think it's about $20 or $22. It ends up being great value for money. Joe and I both like it. And when we don't have anything else and I'm trying to really be economical and get something that I feel like is elegant and is nice and is healthy for the skin on our bodies and is going to work well, but is not super expensive, then this is what I buy. Or I was buying the oil one, then I decided to try this one. And the next time that happens, I'll buy the oil one again. This is just a really good like standard to repurchase. But right now there are a variety of other kinds of soap in our shower for other reasons. So I don't need to repurchase this. I'm not gonna replace it until we need it. Oh, I'm excited to tell you guys, well, I don't know if excited is the word. I've been keeping it in mind that I need to come back and tell you about my ultimate experience with this Oat Cleansing Balm by the Inkey List, the only thing I've ever tried from the Inkey List. I was really excited about this when I first discovered it because I felt like it was the answer to my like cleansing balm prayers. I love a cleansing balm because I feel like I can make a little go a long way. With an oil that I pump out, I tend to pump out too much, overdo it, and then go through it really quickly. But a balm in a screw cap tub, the way that most of them are, I feel like I tend to scoop out too much and I use it too quickly, and it's also not as sanitary as something like a squeeze tube. So I was always looking around for a cleansing balm in a squeeze tube one that was going to be healthy for my skin and do the job of removing my makeup. And then it would, wash away. It would emulsify with water and wash away and leave a clean slate for a second cleansing. And I felt like I had found that in this. When I found it, it checked all of my boxes. I still feel like it checks all of those boxes, honestly. And I was in a tight spot. It was a long time ago at this point. I was in a tight spot. I had almost finished this. I'd used up most of it, but I went somewhere and I didn't have it with me. I can't remember all the details, but I ended up purchasing it again. Like I liked it enough to buy it again because I didn't have very many options, and the price is just fantastic. It's like $9 for a really hefty, thick tube of cleansing balm. And I like the smell. I like that it feels like it's kind of calming to the skin. There are all these great things about it. So I liked it enough to buy it again, and I'm currently working on going through the second tube. There's one huge downside to it that I didn't know about when I first got it and I was first raving about it on camera because I had just started using it. Over time, it separates a little bit in the tube. So I find that sometimes I open it up and I squeeze it out and like watery balm comes out, like this liquidy part of it that's come to the top, and then you squeeze more and the more solid balm comes out. I find that if I store it, I feel like I can't remember now which one it is. I remember because what happened was I replaced it with itself. Then I used this one up, and then I had like another cleansing oil that had come in PR. That's what I've been using. So I had started to use the second tube, but I hadn't used very much of it, and I haven't used it in a while. But what I remember is that I think it's like if you store it this way, it's kind of counterintuitive, but I think I remember it being counterintuitive. I think I found that if I stored it this way in the shower with like the cap up, and I would like stick these between like the wire shelving on our like shower caddy, then it was less likely to have that watery stuff that would come out. Whereas if I store it this way, then the watery stuff would collect at the bottom and it would come out when I squeeze it. I think that's what I remember, but it could also be the other way. It could be that if you manage to remember to keep it like this, store it like this instead of letting it rest on its side, then the solid balm collects at the bottom and you don't get that separation issue. Whatever it is, there's a way to store it that kind of minimizes the separation issue, but still sometimes, in spite of my best efforts, when I squeeze it out, the like liquidy separated stuff comes out, and that's just definitely not great. I'm not totally sure whether or not I would buy it again, but the fact remains, in spite of that separation issue, that it does work really well. It's effective. There's a lot of it in the tube, and the price is really, really excellent for how much you get. So even though there's stuff about it that's not perfect, the fact that the value is so good might cause me to pick it again the next time I have to buy myself a cleansing balm. Speaking of cleansing balm, here's another cleansing balm that's in there. This is kind of an interesting one. This is the Derma E cleansing balm, and it's not for everyone. I know some people who don't like this, really struggle with it. And it's because it's one of those cleansing balms that doesn't emulsify and wash away completely clear. It's really waxy almost, and it definitely does. It feels nice when you're rubbing into the skin. It does do that thing where it melts and picks up your makeup and kind of detaches the makeup from your skin, from your eyes, eyelashes, eyeshadow, all of that stuff. It's really effective like during that phase. And then when you start to wash it away, because it's got some waxes in it, I don't know what it is, but something in it causes it to resist the water a little bit. Not as though you're washing your face with beeswax paste or something. Most of it will wash away, but then it is gonna leave a little bit of a film. So what I like to do with this, I treat it like the Eve Lom cleansing balm. That's similar to this. It's really, really like hefty. And the best way to remove it is to wet a washcloth or a muslin cloth with really quite hot water and to kind of drape it over your face and then use the cloth to wipe away the last vestiges of the cleansing balm. And it's really nice because it's very skin softening. And I found that when I used this balm that way, I loved the results. I felt like my skin was really clean, really soft. It was like I was cleansing my skin and treating my skin at the same time. And it ended up feeling quite luxurious. I would actually go so far as to say that this Derma E Universal Cleansing Balm is like the drugstore dupe for that really fancy, expensive Eve Lom cleansing balm. But if you're used to these more modern cleansing balms or like the K-beauty inspired cleansing balms that emulsify completely and just wash away like a milk, if that's what you're after, you're not going to find that in this Derma E product. It's different from that, but for me, it's just as effective. You just have to know how to use it. There's another Derma E product in here. Actually, there are three other Derma E products in here. So 2 of them are moisturizers, and this is great. I'm glad these are both here because I really love both of these Derma E moisturizers. This is the Advanced Peptides Collagen Moisturizer. It's like a heavier, more like wrinkle treating overnight moisturizer. And this is the, ironically, this is the one that's called the Anti-Wrinkle Renewal Cream, but this is like a lighter weight, fewer ingredients, and less expensive moisturizer in a bigger tub. So this is like my less expensive and more expensive recommendation when it comes to sleeping masks or overnight creams from Derma E. I've said this before and I'll say it again, but if it were up to me, if I were just repeatedly buying my own night moisturizer over and over again, I would buy this one the most because it's a really great price. I feel like it's under $15 or something, and it's 4 ounces. Again, it's a simpler formula. It doesn't have all of those heavy hitting ingredients, but if you're just looking for something occlusive and soothing to lock in your skincare overnight, this is a fantastic option. So this one, they're only 2 ounces, so it's like half the size, and I think it's almost twice as expensive. I think it's getting closer to $30. Still an amazing price for something so effective, but you know, much more expensive than its little sister over here. This one is thicker and it has more of those heavy hitting ingredients. So I could see myself like in an alternate universe where I'm not on YouTube and I'm not like reviewing a variety of different kinds of skincare products, but I'm just buying myself my own stuff over and over again and just using it. I could see myself buying this one most of the time and then every once in a while treating myself to this one. And then the other Derma E product that was in my empties is this anti-wrinkle cleanser. I really like these Derma E cleansers that have like the skinny bottle with the pump. They make a number of them. There's like one that's in their vitamin C line. There's one that's, I think, just regular. And there's this one that's the vitamin A and glycolic acid one. And I just feel like all of them are great. They're all pretty mild. They all are effective. I like this one because I like glycolic acid. As someone who has acne prone skin, I think glycolic acid is a good ingredient to have in a cleanser, but I feel like any one of them would do. It's just a really good like drugstore priced fallback second cleanse. I've had such a hard time finding this. So this is interesting actually. This is another sleeping cream or like soothing night cream or sleeping pack that I buy for myself, that I like enough to buy for myself. I think that this actual exact jar Derma E might have sent to me. I don't know if I bought this for myself, although I have bought this for myself in the past, but this tube of madecassoside cream from Empties I did buy myself. I bought it, I think, as a night moisturizer to sort of supplement my night moisturizing routine because my skin was feeling really dry. But this product has such a beautiful, silky, almost like gel cream formula that I find myself using it constantly. It soaks into the skin really well. So I went through this tube really fast because I was wearing a thick layer at night, but then in the morning, it's like I would put on a serum in the morning and then before going into primer or sunscreen, I would just be like, I'm just gonna put on a little more of that madecassoside cream because I love how it makes my skin feel and I like applying it. It's one of my favorite products. It's really, really great. But it's hard to find. I think that it's currently on YesStyle. I think I did finally find it on YesStyle, but I usually don't place an order from YesStyle unless there are like a handful of things that I want all at once. Because I think that if there's either a shipping threshold that you have to be over or the shipping is just a little bit expensive and I want it to be worth it. So I'm usually like saving things in my cart on YesStyle. And then when I have like 3 or 4 things that I am gonna make use of, I'll buy them all at once. And right now, this is the only thing that I could think of that I wanted from YesStyle. I almost got it because I really love it and I really miss it. But then I ended up doing something else. I'll tell you what. I ended up deciding to try the madecassoside gel. So this product comes in a lot of forms, and the tubes all look the same, as you can see. The cream, the madecassoside cream, is the one that I really, really love, but it also comes in a sleeping cream. Like there's one that's supposed to be for nighttime, which I've tried, and I liked it, but I didn't love it as much as this one because it was a little bit thicker and it wasn't quite as silky. So I know from experience that that is like second string to this one. And then it also comes in this gel formula, and this one I found on Amazon. This I think I actually got from Amazon, but it's currently sold out. Like you can't get this from Amazon right now. But this one was on Amazon in this big tube. I had never tried it. And you know, it's the same thing, but in a gel formula. And I feel like this one already had kind of a gel cream formula, and gel is supposed to be like lighter weight. So I was like, why don't I just try it? It's like the brand I love, the ingredients I love. Maybe the gel will be just as good as the cream or better. So I got it. It actually just came a couple of days ago, and I've been using it, and it's really sticky, especially when I put on a super thick layer. I like to wear a thick layer of cream when I'm sleeping. The first night I got this, I put it on and my face was like so sticky all night, like almost unsustainably sticky. And I was like, I don't think that this is gonna work. Then the next morning I woke up, I went to wash off my skincare, and my skin felt amazing. Like so soft, smooth, plump. Like I love that feeling when I wake up in the morning and whatever I've slept in has made my skin so happy. And I was like, madecassoside gel, you shouldn't have. Like, hello, welcome to my life. And like the night before I had been like with my face on the pillow, like, oh, this is so gross, I can't deal. And then the next morning I was just like, ha ha ha. So what I've been doing is just using less. I've been layering it, and then it's not as sticky. The thing that made it sticky was putting on like a huge thick layer. This one, the cream, my experience is that no matter how much I layer it, no matter how much I put on my skin, it just keeps soaking in and keeps soaking in and isn't sticky. And I get the same wonderful results in my skin, but without the stickiness. So I'll prefer the cream. Anytime I can buy the cream going forward, I will, but I am going to use this up. I'm just gonna be using like smaller amounts and layering it maybe under other kinds of creams, but it is just a fantastic product. These Empties madecassoside products are so good. And they're not too expensive. That's why I buy them for myself. I mean, I think that this tube might have been close to $10. It might have been closer to 15 or something because it's like the jumbo size. But you know, my experience with these is that it's just, again, amazing value for money, similar to the Derma E products. I used up my toothpaste. I always like to show it because it's so aesthetic. I don't always have this Lionheart toothpaste in my life. I think I was actually traveling when I used this up, and so I just bought, or maybe I just happened to be at the grocery store and I had just used this up. So I just bought like a Tom's of Maine or something, like I'm just using whatever toothpaste I happen to have. But when I'm like just all things being equal, buying toothpaste from the internet, this is the one that I like to choose because I just love how it looks in my bathroom. This cleansing oil that I've been using is finally used up. It's also from Yes Style. It's the iUnique Calendula Complete Cleansing Oil. Honestly, one of my favorite just straight up cleansing oils that I've ever used. It's really, really fantastic. I don't know if I'll buy this. I think that this was PR, and I think I remember it being not wildly expensive, but just a little bit too expensive for me for something that I'm going to be using up and repurchasing. I tend to go through cleansing oils and balms pretty quickly. That's why I'm always keeping an eye out for budget versions like the Derma E and the Inky List. You know what I mean? I just feel like for me, really the less expensive, the better for a cleansing oil or balm. So we're talking like trying to find a huge amount for $10, you know, or like a jar of it for like $12 or something. I think this might have been somewhere in the like $30 realm or something. And even though it's a pretty hefty container, 200 milliliters, actually, there's more in this by volume than there is in this. This is 200 milliliters and the Inky List is only 150. Again, I find myself overusing this when I use it because it's so liquidy and it's in this pump. So I get in the shower and then I'm just like, pump, 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 and then I'm like, I'm using too much, it's going too quickly, you know? If I could restrain myself from doing that and, you know, use just like a half pump every time, which is probably all I would need, make this last a long time, then it might be worth it for me to buy it. Like it might kind of equal out to the way that this one would last over time. But for now, I'm just gonna proceed. I actually just got a cleansing balm in the mail in PR from Elemis. It's not in here, but I'm going to try that next and see how it goes. It was good timing because I just ran out of this one last night. Oh, and I still have the other one from the Inkey list too. So it's going to be a while before I need to buy myself a cleansing balm. But when I do, I might consider this one. I really, really did like it. There are a couple products from the Athena Club in here. It's been a while since I talked about them, but I'm still using some of their products. I really like the shave foam. I haven't repurchased this since I used this up, but I might. The reason I haven't repurchased it is because I have a shaving cream from that brand Lather that sent me some PR a while back. And you know, it's just not in my nature to like buy a thing when I already have another thing that serves the purpose. I have the one from Lather, and until I use it up, I won't buy this again. But when I use it up, I'll probably buy this again. I really, really like this shave foam from the Athena Club. It's like really, really rich and thick, and I love the scent. I absolutely love this Athena Club scent. It's the number 2 scent in their deodorant. One of the things I love about the deodorant is that scent. It's like a vanilla rose grapefruit, and the combination of those things somehow just works so incredibly well for me. I really, really love it. It's a pleasure to have a natural deodorant that smells so good, but you know, how it smells wouldn't be helpful if the deodorant itself also didn't work pretty well. But I do find that it works quite well. This is like my favorite natural deodorant, my favorite deodorant that I've ever used, because I only use natural deodorant. So my favorite deodorant that I've ever used in terms of performance. And then on top of that, it has this incredible scent from the Athena Club that I really, really love. So I am going to replace this. I have another deodorant that I had to grab again because I was traveling and I was like in the grocery store, and I think it's also a Tom's of Maine thing. So again, even though this is my favorite one, I'm not going to repurchase it until I actually need deodorant. And I don't need it right now because I'm using this other just utilitarian one that I got. But when it's time for me to buy another one, I will repurchase this. I'll repurchase both of these when it's time. I really, really, these are like the 2 standout products from the Athena Club for me. Although I'm still using the razor, and it's great too. Julia and I are both using it, and we both really, really love it. They are really doing a good job over there designing these products. I've talked about the Athena Club in the past, but I know not everyone has seen every video on my channel. I mean, how dare you? But they're a razor subscription service. It's one of those, you know, they're kind of all over social media right now. It's one of those, and I tried it. And I tried these other products that are like adjacent to the razors, and I've just been super impressed. So I'll link them down below. I really like them. What else? We're getting down to it. This is like gosh, this is from a long time ago. I feel like this came in PR like at the very beginning of the pandemic. That's what I remember. This brand Medicube sent me a whole bunch of their products, and I really liked this actually. There was this, it's called the Blue Erasing Cream. Soothes and calms sensitive skin by strengthening the skin barrier. I actually really liked it. And there's another one, the Blue Erasing Cream Rich. They have like a rich version and a more lightweight version, and both of them are absolutely fantastic. I haven't heard much about Medicube, but you know, I can tell you that of the product they sent me, these were the 2 standouts. I liked them in the way that I like this Epu stuff. I just feel like the formulations are really elegant. They really, really treat and moisturize my skin. So this was a good moisturizer. It's been a long time though since I used it up. It's been here. I think it was floating around empty for a long time before I managed to put it in the bag. And then it was in the bag for a really long time. I think I have talked about this product before. It's from YesStyle. It was PR from YesStyle. It's the Rovectin Skin Essentials Activating Treatment Lotion. Hypoallergenic advanced formula. So they're calling it a lotion, but it's, you know, it's like a serum. It's an essence actually, but it's like a serum-y essence. It's not a watery essence. It works in the same way. You use it in the way you use a watery essence, but it's just not watery. It's got a little bit of a slip to it, like a slimy slip. But my skin absolutely loved this. And this is something that I could see myself. I think when I looked it up, I was a little bit surprised at the price for the small bottle. Of course, I'll link everything down below, and I might be a little bit wrong on this, but I feel like it was approaching the $30 price point. I think when I used it up, I was immediately like, I'm gonna buy that again. My skin loved it. It was so amazing. And then I went to buy it and I was like, I'm just gonna use what I have because it's $30. I think that's what happened. But I could see myself, if I got down to it and I literally was like starting from scratch with moisturizing products and I just wanted to get a few things that I knew worked really well, I could see myself buying it. It's one of those things that's on the line. Like I'm not gonna wanna buy it over and over and over again, but I could see myself buying it again in the future because it's a fantastic option for something that you just pat into your skin over and over and over again, and it just plumps it up. Like my skin just drank it up. And I liked that it was a little bit serum-y too, because it made it feel like it was more occlusive. Like it wasn't just disappearing into my skin. It was like adding plumpness, but also kind of forming a barrier to keep the moisture in. I think we're just down to a couple, yes, we're just down to a couple of makeup products. I mean, this isn't exactly this is makeup adjacent. The Glossier Soothing Face Mist Rose Water Spray. So I've been using this for a couple of years now to wet the soap that I use for soap brows. Which reminds me, where is that thing? All right, a little bit of a tangent. I'm going on a little bit of a tangent. Bear with me. I'm just excited to have like a reason to show this on camera. So this is the soap that I use for soap brows. It's this beautiful amber colored soap from Orteggia Sicilia. And I love, it's in this box, which is cardboard, but it's very sturdy because it's coated with this like shiny stuff. And it's just, I mean, the aesthetic is so on point. I've shown this before on camera, but we're just having a moment. It's even got the little cheetah in there, and the soap itself is so pretty. It's just stunning. So I purchased this from a shop called Takamachi Beauty Room, which is a brick and mortar store in New York. And then they have a beautiful website full of all sorts of curiosities, gorgeous things. It just makes you feel some kind of way. It makes me feel some kind of way, and it probably will make you feel some kind of way too. I'll link them down below. And I also follow them on Instagram. And whenever I feature the soap or use the soap, I always tag Takamachi Beauty Room. So the owner of Takamachi Beauty Room sent me a little piece of PR, and it's this. It's like a plate that goes with the soap bar that I have. It's in like this gift box, and it comes with a backup bar of soap. Even just the box is everything. Like the boxes of these Cecilia Orteggia things, they're amazing because they're cardboard. So I just feel like it's great that it's not plastic. It's so much more wonderful than plastic in 1,000 ways, but they're also so designed and just so covetable and lovely. So that's a nice box to have. And then there is the plate. I mean, I think it could be like a little soap dish. It could be a little soap dish if you were using this soap to wash your hands, but it's also perfect for soap brows. You know what I mean? Like keeping this on one's vanity and then using the little box for travel. Although I will probably keep like the little box on top of the little plate on my vanity. But oh my gosh, thank you so much, Takamichi Beauty Room. Like this is just, it was so exciting to receive the box in the mail. It was so exciting to open it up and find this adorable plate inside and a backup bar of soap. It is Takamichi. I'm worried that I was saying Takamachi at some point, but it is Takamichi Beauty Room. All right, that was a serious tangent from this empty bottle of Glossier Soothing Face Mist. But what I've been doing for quite a while is using this spray to wet the soap and then using a spoolie to gunk it up and using that in my brows. That's how I've been using this bottle of soothing face mist. I don't like spraying this on my face because it's a very fine mist, and the very, very fine particles of like a real rosewater mist makes me, it just like makes me go, doesn't exactly make me cough. It just makes me go, So I won't be repurchasing that. I will just use water. Maybe I'll put water in the bottle, but I might actually not even need to do that because I have other sprays like face sprays and mists and stuff that I can use in that capacity. And then the other two are genuine makeup empties. One is the NYX, the brow glue. There is still a little bit of stuff in there, but it got to the point where it was so stretchy and dried out that it wasn't really working well anymore. And so I just decided to call it. I've talked about this a number of times, and I did do like a first impressions on camera, which I'll try to remember to link down below. It's pretty good. It behaves exactly like rubber cement, but I went through it really quickly. I much prefer the Refi one, the one that I'm using now, although it's much, much more expensive. For me, it's probably gonna be worth it if I buy brow stuff again, instead of just using soap brows, to buy the one from Refi. But I'm not sorry that I tried this, and I ended up using it more than I thought I would because it was so convenient and it did work. And then this is the Aaron's Faces Radiant Firming Concealer. This is a really, really great, super emollient, creamy, comforting concealer. And it's got great coverage. It looks very skin-like. It's very dewy. It's fantastic. I decided to just call it on this tube. I don't think it's completely scraped empty, but when I switched over to being careful and sanitizing my hands and my fingers and my products when I was using them, because I was trying to really optimize the chances of my skin recovering from that acne. When I did that, this was getting kind of down to it, and I'd been using it for a long time and putting the wand directly on my skin, and Erin had very graciously sent me a new tube of it. So I decided to just retire the old tube and start fresh with a new tube, sanitizing everything and being really careful. I'd gotten a lot of great use out of it though. It's totally almost empty. Let me look. Yeah, actually I can see like light coming in all around the edges and the bottom. So it probably wasn't gonna be long. If I had continued to use it, it wouldn't have been long before I was like, oh, this is truly empty. It's dried up. I can't use it anymore. I was lucky enough to have like another tube to switch over to. So I was able to go ahead and put it in my empties when I did that. All right, those are my empties. I hope that I was at the very least able to entertain you or distract you or relax you or whatever you needed today. And maybe you even got some information about the product that I've used up. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to take extra good care of yourself today so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.